Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday, February 17th meeting. That was moved from yesterday to today because of the holiday. So, let's just, we'll take public comment on the agenda items. Yeah, Bill.
Over Washington, Oregon. Number 7, at the last meeting, it was a local law that you were addressing. Now it says state law.
Yeah, so after some digging and after we spoke to the attorney, it needed to be a state law. So what we ended up doing was contacting Assemblyman Marr and Senator Skoufis, and the law has been drafted. I sent an email out waiting for a status of where it is, because it's written, everything is set. I think what ends up happening at that point, it goes to the houses and then it moves up their channels to get approved and signed off.
Is it being rewritten at the state level because of this village or just in general?
Just in general.
Thank you.
Yes?
Sean Hagerty, 4 Belvoir Drive. I have a question on the budget. The last time we said that they put the pay scales, the salaries and things, and then break it up later. Has that been accomplished? And if so, could I get a copy?
I have it. I'm gonna post it probably after we send it to the webcaster, so he'll post it onto the website. I can email you a copy as well if you want.
No, I can get on the website, but
I can, I have it. I was gonna send it to them to upload onto the website, so maybe by tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah.
And speaking about the websites, is there a reason that the last meeting was not on?
Yes, because we had a glitch with the recording. We've been having some problems with a few of the boards' meetings, 2 of the planning board meetings. Oh no, 2 village board meetings, 1 planning board meeting.
Okay, so there was no tape at all.
No, well, from what I'm understanding, there was a couple of minutes in the beginning, a couple at the end, but, so the minutes will be posted, but we have no video of that.
Okay.
Hopefully tonight will go better.
Anything else? Okay. So we'll move into just announcements and updates. So we, as you know, we were working on the Edmonds Building Department software. We received our go-live timeframe as of October of this year. I think initially we were talking it could be a year and a half out in time, but they moved us up through our meetings and everything else that we've been doing with them, gathering data, giving them information about the data that's in the system. Things were moving really kind of quickly, so they moved us up into October of this year, so we're really excited about that. Sewell Park update. Survey has been completed. Markings on the corners still need to be done. We did put in for a project for New York State for a sidewalk proposal that would go from our municipal lot to the park itself, and that is in progress, I'll call it, at this point. Also, the park plan itself has been sent to FEMA, and we're waiting on their blessing to allow us to move forward. They have a bunch of different, I'll call regulations, even though they own it, we kind of take responsibility and we take care of the empty parcels and so forth, mowing the lawns, doing whatever maintenance needs to be done. But they have some strict guidelines when it comes to if you're gonna do anything to that property or any property, that we have to make sure that we're not affecting the floodplain, floodways, and we have to make sure that we're not raising anything that would be intrusive to to flooding. So that's been sent to them. We're waiting to hear from that. That could be obviously several months, because I don't think FEMA at the moment is doing any work like other parts of the federal government due to the stalemate in their negotiations, etc. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. Probably a good year and a half ago, we did put in for a grant for generators for the Village Hall and DPW. That looks like it's coming to its final stages for approval. Once that happens, then we'll go out to bid, and we will obtain some quotes from different vendors on generators for this building and the DPW building, and then we could be more satisfied to the point of using this building as a warming station and other activities during bad weather, etc. Another grant that we also applied for is the DASNY, I think they call them SSB something, but it's the LED crosswalk lights that you see in different communities now are popping up, and they're very good, they're very visible, and we plan on putting them in different locations where high traffic volume and obviously more than active pedestrian traffic with people crossing streets and et cetera. So that also has been approved, and currently reaching out and putting bid spec together so we could purchase 5 of these devices. One device we're going to hold off to the side because the plan there, again, a work order was sent into DOT that we could install this crosswalk device at the intersection of 94 and I'll say Stewart and the old bank. So when anybody wants to cross that street, super difficult, almost taking your life in your hands. So waiting for the permit process to take off, and we'll be touching base with DOT to let them know that that's been approved, so maybe they could move their, their approvals a little bit faster as well. The Lions Club also has purchased some new playground equipment that we planned on installing for the spring of this year. It will be encompassing the space that was already there. Nothing is being expanded at this point as far as the playground dimensions are concerned. So hats off to the Lions Club, and they're raising up funds, etc., to get this equipment, and it will be installed by our teams, but it will be guided by the manufacturer's project management people, I'll call them. So that's good news there. We'll be applying for the Orange County Municipal Tourism Grant as we do every year, and those dollars have normally gone to the fireworks 4th of July celebration. Again, number 7, we just kind of talked about it, but again, the law has been written. We've signed off on it to say, yeah, it's good to go, and we just reaching out to Skoufis and Senator Skoufis and Assemblyman Marr just to get a status of where the bills are currently located. And let's see, investigating grants for the water tank storage rehabilitations. Again, those came back at close to $1 million, or pretty much at $1 million, without really going out to bid, except for the one company who did the report, gave us those dollar amounts. I think we checked into a couple of grants, but these kind of grants, some of them anyway at this point, are not for maintenance. They are for new tanks, new projects, things along those lines. So we're going to investigate continuing to look for grants and figure out how we can do this rehabilitation on these tanks that needs to be done. And it's been well over the time frame that maintenance should be done, so we're behind schedule with this over the last, I think, 5 years. I think the last report was sometime in the 14 or 15 range of when they were inspected. Number 9 was just a follow-up on the budget request from the last meeting. So Paul, you had received the budget from Leslie, and the fuel expense codes and so forth have been moved to the DPW, and the other information that you requested, Sean, will be coming from Leslie. The village board meeting that's was supposed to happen on March 2nd, is going to be rescheduled to Wednesday, March 4th at 7 p.m. And at that point, Donna, I don't know if you have anything from the building side, updates?
Sure. Okay. Between the dates of February 1st and the 15th, we had 10 permits that were issued, 29 COs and certificates of COs and CCs. No violations remedied. 5 municipal searches were completed. Make sure on fire safety, but they're still continuing to do several a week. We pulled in, revenue was, the fire safety inspection fees collected were at $885. Permit fees, $2,285, total $3,170. Some of the projects, Three Ninjas opened Monday. Anybody likes sushi or ramen?
Noodles?
Ramen, sushi, and hibachi. Let's see here. 100 letters went out. Apparently there were many expired permits, so we're starting with the year of 2023, going through the system. So any red flags for permits that had expired, that were never closed out, folks will receive a letter. You know, a lot of people don't even realize it until they go to sell their home. And then a municipal search is done, and now they're scrambling because they had open permits that they weren't aware of, so we're trying to be proactive here. We have a project before the planning board. There is a petition to amend our zoning for Kazaza property, the 2 parcels that are for sale, the 151 acres. He did approach our village board first. We recommended they discuss it with the planning board. The planning board does not make any decisions on this, but we requested just a review and a recommendation. So they met twice. One was a regular meeting, the last meeting was last week, Tuesday. They had a work session. I believe they're in the process of drafting their recommendation back to the village board. Ultimately, it is the village board's decision, and they have their 60 days before the clock is up. So they should get that in prior to the 60 days. Clock started at the time that the application came in. That's it for building. We sent out letters maybe 3 weeks ago for non-compliant, well, everybody all businesses received the letter. So not all businesses are affected. So it was regarding the non-compliant signage, lighting, etc. for all businesses, downtown and not downtown. We requested that they remedy. We sent them portions of the code so they understand what is non-compliant. We got a handful of calls, not as many as we thought we might, and the calls that are coming in are actually those who are compliant. So they just didn't understand the letter or wanted to make sure. They have a month to remedy before we will start to issue some violations. That one's for you, Vinny.
So they can't, so they've been there like that for years. And now,
Some of them.
you know, they're gonna get banged with a summons because we want to enforce today.
Well, the thing is, codes are there for a reason. If they're not enforced, what good are they?
So the new dental office going in, it's got a lit sign out by the street. I know Bank of America was told never to turn that sign on back in the day because it's a backlit sign.
No, wait, backlit is okay. Internally lit is not okay. You could
It's
have,
internally lit.
oh, no, well, that's not okay.
Hopefully somebody notified him of the law because, you know, that fixture is there. He's gonna put a sign in it. Because I know
Whose
Bank of
office?
America.
The new dentist?
New dentist.
I know Bank of America used to complain about that because they had the sign there and they could never turn it on.
Generally, when the new building permit goes out, or an application comes in and the permit goes out, they're including the sign permit with the paperwork. So for example, the new church that's under renovations, they already have the sign permit to, when they're ready to
Yeah.
exercise it. And it would be the same thing for the dentist office and whatever happens to the building next door, so. Yeah, I mean, we're here to work with them, we give them the thoughts, ideas, they
Listen, I
come
understand,
back.
he's a new business, he's walking into it, but
Yeah.
like, the businesses have been here for years.
Yeah.
You know,
Agreed. It's just a,
maybe
It-
going forward, if
it's-
the business changes hands, we can, you know,
yeah. I mean, this building is new to him, but he totally understands the sign law because he put a new sign up on South Street where he's currently doing his
Yeah.
practice, so he gets it, I'm
Yeah.
hoping, you know, and the contractors, whoever else we have to be dealing with, so. Yeah, it's something you really have to pay attention to because most people think they can just throw up a sign and day's over. So we try to make sure that they're aware of the law and what their options are. You know, for an example, I mean, just to step off for a second, but we had some resistance from the Stafford building owners, right? He didn't get the idea, he didn't really kind of like it. Then it was all said and done, and he says, you know what?
It looks
I gotta
great.
apologize. He says, it really looks good, I love the idea, and he's all on board. So, you know, it's the way it's been, right, for a long, long time, and it's now new businesses come, you make the transitions. And everybody
No,
so
in-
far has been doing
In
all right.
terms of the compliance signage,
Yeah.
we're not saying people have to change their sign. We're talking about things that were not compliant from day one. So we're not looking, nobody has to change their sign if they're not ready to change their sign. But if it, you know, things that are like internally lit, that was always against code prior to us coming in. That's always been against code. You know, flashing, any signs that are flashing, distracting, bright neon, those were always against code.
I brought that up with the vape place, and you said that it wasn't in the code.
Sorry?
That guy had that whole window lit up, and it used to shine across the street of 94 at night. It would light up the entire town. When the vape shop was in town, I don't even know if he's still there in town.
Yeah, he's still there,
But
but
he had
look,
that-
he got the letter.
He
so-
had that, when I brought it up, and you told me that wasn't in the code. That, you know, it wasn't in the code.
Well, I don't remember how it was lit. I don't know.
It lit up the entire town. That's how.
But was it coming from the inside or the outside?
It was inside the building, against the window, he had
Yeah,
lined
there's
up around the
LED lights.
window.
T-Mobile is lit like that also. The entire inside of T-Mobile is hot pink. But it's,
So I'm not against it, but I'm just saying, the businesses that have been here for 20-plus years, you know, I think you should have some leeway with them, who've been here forever, now you're gonna tell them they're not in compliance.
like I said, any signage that was compliant from day one, and it might not be now because of the revisions that we made, they're
It's grandfathered,
grandfathered
and
in,
they don't need to do anything unless they want to.
right?
And the
Existing
incentive is if they wanted to,
non-conforming.
we'll waive the fee for the permit, and just because they wanna update it and make it potentially look nicer. Get the gooseneck lights and, you know,
But it's
feel better about
it's
it.
not just the signs themselves, it's not just the lighting, we're talking about some businesses have 3 signs, you know, you're allowed 1 sign per structure, some have 4. We're just trying to clean up a little bit.
okay, thank you. Vernon, you have anything on grants at all?
Went over everything.
Went over that one, okay. All right, good. All right, and Steve and Susan are not here this evening, so we'll go after that report next time around. So we can move into the resolutions, resolution 260026, to authorize a budget transfer amendments as necessary to effect the necessary transfer of funds and to pay the warrants. Have a motion? Have a second, please?
I'll have to second that.
I think so. Any questions or comments on the warrants? Currently, out of the A fund, we're paying this couple of weeks here, $85,148.52. Out of the out of the sewer is $30,672. And, now let me reverse it, I'm sorry. The 30,672 is out of water, and out of sewer will be 22,750. Any other questions, comments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0, with 2 absent. Thank you. Next, resolution 260027, schedule a public hearing date for March 4th for the increase of $25 for the sewer facilities finance charge. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Have a second? Any questions, comments?
Wasn't that $35?
25.
Wasn't that passed already?
No,
I thought we were supposed to get on this bill.
no, it'll be effective the May billing for 26
All right.
for the year.
So, can I ask one
Yeah.
question? The purpose of the public session or the public meeting about it is just informative, I assume, because it's already been encapsulated in the budget as revenue.
Well, it's planned, yes,
Right, so.
but the public hearing is if someone has a question about
Okay,
it itself.
okay, but it's not, it's unlikely that the resolution would not pass, or.
No, because then we would be in a big pile,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we had the motion, the second discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-2 with absentees. Resolution 260028 to approve the assembly permit for the Knights of Columbus Annual Carnival, May 21st through May 25th. Have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second? Great. Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0, 2 absent. Resolution 260029 to approve the assembly permit for the event committee Easter egg extravaganza. That will be on March 28th. I believe it's 1 to 4 in the afternoon. Have a motion? Have a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments? All in favor? Motion passes 3 with 2 absent. Resolution 260030 to approve the facilities permit for Covenant Crew to use the Vern Allen parking lot for approximately 20 cars for a one-day bus trip on April 11th from 8 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Have a motion? Have a second, please?
Second.
Any questions, comments? All in favor? Motion passes 3, 2 absent. Resolution 260031 to approve the public assembly permit for the Hook and Ladder St. Patrick's Day Community Event, March 1st, 2026, between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Have a motion? Have a second?
Second.
What are
Any
the,
questions, comments?
what are the details of that permit? Do they want the parking lot?
They're going to take this, I'll call it the third of the parking lot closest to them. It'll be closed off, just that aisle. The rest of the parking lot will be open, and they're gonna have 2 food trucks in there.
Any beer trucks?
Everything's on their property, just like it was last year. Okay. Any other questions, comments from the board? If not, all in favor? The motion passes 3 with 2 absent.
Doesn't bother you.
We're at the public comment for non-agenda items.
On the
Yeah,
meetings,
it's on.
on the meetings in March, you changed the one from the 2nd to the 4th. Are you gonna post that on the website, the village
Yes.
website?
I already changed it.
And then now you got elections on the 18th, so what are you doing with the meeting that week? You changing that meeting?
Yeah, we're gonna move that one as well. We're just trying, I gotta look at the calendars because the reason we're doing it on Wednesday, we'd normally move it one day to Tuesday, but they have court. 2 sessions between traffic and, what's it, criminal?
What, on the 2nd?
And a criminal court can, like last meeting or last time, it ran to 8:30. So we can't really kind of say that they're gonna be done by 6:30. So, yeah, we'll find a, if not Tuesday, probably Wednesday or Thursday of that week for the meeting.
And doesn't the DPW have a generator other than a wastewater treatment plant?
The wastewater treatment plant has a
Doesn't
generator.
the DPW have a generator?
No,
No?
No.
Why did I think they did?
no. Okay?
Don, I wanna go back to the planning board you mentioned about, I watched those videos, the last two videos, even with the poor audio, more than 5 people that probably watched it.
A lot of people, sure, there's a lot of people watching.
The planning board, is that an independent board of the village board?
Yes,
So it's not an extension of the village board? They're
planning and
independent?
zoning,
All right,
it's a combined board.
when I watched that meeting,
Which one did they?
we'll talk about the last one, because you kept quiet, you didn't say anything, you stood in the background. But it's like, watching the meeting was brutal. They kept on turning their head looking at you. It was kind of comical to watch, because it's like they're looking for guidance. And you're standing there, and they're supposed to be independent, making a decision. I watched that last planning board meeting, I felt like the chairperson had her mind made up already.
The work session,
Yep. The last one that they just had, the work session.
so the chair is Nancy Comerford.
All right, I don't know her name, I don't wanna mention names, but the chairperson seemed like she had her mind made up. The lawyer was trying to guide them on what they should be doing, and I felt like it just kept on veering off. And they weren't, her recommendation was already, like, if she had her way, I think she would've wrote the recommendation that night on the table. Even though the woman next to her, at minute 22:10, she felt that Mr. Kazaz's application was reasonable. That was her exact words, reasonable. And it just, for somehow, I don't know, it kind of veered off to the right again, and the chairperson was ready to write the letter. Instead of discussing, having the discussion, like the lawyer was saying numerous times, that, you guys have to have a discussion after this work session and come up with a recommendation, and she was ready to write it right then and there. It just, and like, the heads turning towards you during the meeting, it was like, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. Having a village board member at the meeting, I'm not saying you're influencing it, but just the presence of being there doesn't look good.
Do you want me to reply?
If you have one.
What you don't know is the prior meeting, this was a continuation, so 3 of them were not present at the prior meeting.
What does that have to do with you?
Oh, you want me to comment on the part about me? I had discussed this with not just council, with our planner as well, and not only, as I said at the last meeting, not only can I be there, I should be there. I am the
What council?
liaison
Our council?
to the planning and zoning
Chris?
board.
Or the council, the planning and zoning
Council
board?
to planning and zoning.
It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good
I'm
because a
thinking from
village
the
board
out-
member is present at a meeting?
Not when they're looking, if it's like you said in the beginning, it's an independent board. But when they're looking towards the camera, when you're standing behind it for either affirmation or against, it doesn't look good.
Really,
Donna?
I don't know what you saw, but the
I saw
chair
what
was
was on-
sitting here, the board is looking at her. I don't remember ever them looking at me.
Donna, when the chairperson is going like this, sitting in that corner going like this, who is she looking at?
Well, I don't know, there were 2 of us sitting over there and the camera.
It doesn't look good, Donna. And you even got name dropped in the meeting. Your name got dropped in the meeting.
Because I'm liaison to that board.
I'm just saying, optically, looking from the outside, a resident, as an independent board, it doesn't look good. Let them make the decision on their own.
They are, I'm sorry, they are absolutely making that decision on their own. I had 0 comment.
Listen.
None.
You got your version, the way you're looking at it as a village board member, as a resident, other residents of the 10 other people that watch it, that's what it looks like on camera. And that's all they need to
This is
see.
the first comment that I'm
There's
hearing.
nobody in the meeting, who else is gonna comment? Nobody comes to these meetings.
Well,
I'm making
people
a
still
comment,
watch those
and I'm
meetings
letting
and
you
can send in
know.
a comment.
I'm letting you know what it looks like from the outside.
Okay.
Tom, it was, I don't know, a couple meetings ago, it was the snowstorm we had issues with. I was asking about the slow response time, and you were going through a list of DPW employees that were out sick, or hurt, or whatever. How many personnel do we have in DPW currently?
But
11? And you said there was people hurt, sick?
one person was not in attendance of that snowstorm.
Because he was out sick. Because you
A
mentioned.
family situation.
Okay. Do we have anybody that's being paid that's not coming to work?
Yes,
Can we elaborate on that?
no,
So we are short on that. So we have a person that's a DPW employee that's being paid and not reported to work.
correct. But we weren't short because we have a part-timer that filled in that space.
Okay, how long has this employee been paid and not working?
Several weeks.
So there's no response on why he's getting
No.
paid and not producing any work for us?
Legal issues, no.
So is this gonna be another, this is where I'm getting with it, is this gonna be another issue where we have an employee that we're gonna go to arbitration with, and then we're gonna have to pay some money out again with law firms and paying an employee,
Mhm.
i.e. like the building inspector, and we're not getting anything out of it?
Well, we'll find out when we have our hearing. And I'll leave it at that.
There was no resolution on said employee, correct?
No, don't believe so.
So if we were looking to remove an employee, wouldn't there be some kind of resolution to either accept their resignation or terminate their termination?
If there was a resignation, then yeah, there would be a resolution to accept the resignation like for any department, any person.
No resolution for termination.
Good question. I don't, we never, I'm trying to think. No,
Shouldn't we be told that we have an employee that's sitting home for several weeks, getting paid on the village dime for an unknown reason?
well, you apparently know, so
It's not an unknown reason.
it's not an
There's a
unknown reason, there's a
We just
reason.
can't
But
discuss it.
it's never been brought
It's
out.
legal, Vinnie, it's legal,
Yeah.
we can't talk about it, you know, just like the issue that we were dealing with the building department. We cannot discuss it,
Now, is it because of union rules that we just can't terminate?
because it's legal.
It's legal.
Union rules, legal, whatever, however you wanna toss it, but yeah, we're not gonna discuss it.
Okay.
Not gonna jeopardize anything about all of anything. So, sorry, but, you know, when it comes to a conclusion, whatever happens, then it will be discussed,
Okay.
whichever way it goes. Well,
Was that 11 including Martino?
yeah.
Really? I remember hearing 15.
Mhm.
We lose anybody? For a long time, I'm gonna go back to the minutes, I know I heard 15, including Martino.
No.
Maybe when we have this summer.
Maybe with summer help, the three summer helpers, but,
No, I just remember 15, and I just, 11 doesn't sound like. What's our normal staffing? What would our normal staffing, do you believe would be in DPW? Is 11 normal? Is 11 normal? Are we looking for people? It seemed like we hired a bunch of people.
The last thing that we had done was made some moves and adjustments so we can get somebody from DPW into the water. So we have two people basically, and it rotates, it's not the same two people all the time, but we have two people doing water meters consistently. So I'm trying to remember, but I think as somebody had left, we filled the position. So I think the last person who left us was probably Mark Blanchett, and his position was filled.
Those two guys do, they don't do water meters 4 months a year. They only do water meters, you're talking about reading them
No, replacement,
or replacing?
right. And we're over 480 at the moment. I think that was the last number that was thrown out there. So we're probably approaching 500 meters of replacement, which has helped out tremendously. We had a number due to the real freezing weather. Things started to thaw, and our map started to pop up in 26 here, 36th Street here. People were experiencing leaks. We called them, and they were super grateful. Some of them weren't even home. They were vacationing or whatever. Yeah, they took care of their leaks and broken pipes and whatever they had. Yeah. So, yeah, we obviously we made that adjustment when we went with the meters. Okay. Yes, John?
Sean Hager again. Two things. One is, what paving season is coming up? Are they gonna finish paving all the way to the town line on Tolman?
Yes,
Okay, so you added that, because that wasn't original. That's
correct, yeah, we added that on, yep.
Now, the other thing is the stormwater management book. Is that the same as the state publishes? Or is it?
I don't know, I've never really looked at the state book. I mean, I don't know, I've never really looked at the state book, to be honest with you.
I've been perusing, and you keep on saying you can't touch the edge of the ponds, retention basins.
That's what I've been told.
It's.
No, you
there-
can touch the edges.
Well, I found you could, every 10 years, you can clean out the pond, if you look through the state book. I don't know if your book is the same.
Yeah, I don't
There's some
know.
other things in there that will, if they go in and read it,
Yeah.
you'll find out that their maintenance schedule is way behind time.
Thanks.
They need to brush hog the retention basins, they need to clean out the ponds.
That's what we're planning on doing this spring, is cleaning up around the ponds, cutting all the heavy brush down, probably preserving the trees. And then we're gonna create 2 ramps, so that we can bring in, we've contacted the Village of Monroe, and they're gonna be coming and helping us with their machine to do the weed removal type thing.
It's beyond weed removal, it's the depth of the ponds. You can go back to the original maps and see what the depth is supposed to be.
Well, I've looked at a few maps for that information, not that I saw anything that was what the depth was when the ponds were created. Currently, they're about 5 to 6 feet.
I believe there's the copy of the maps already in the building.
Reed, we used to have one in the model home at that first house.
Yeah?
I remember as a kid.
What do you mean, being the depth of the pond?
Yeah, it was a contour of the pond. I used to fish that pond every day.
Yeah.
And they had a whole contour map of that pond with the depths. I could definitely vouch for that.
It's filled in because the lack of maintenance, the silt coming down the hill. When they did clean it out the last time, there was no silt screens put up, nothing.
That pond has never been touched, to my knowledge, since
Oh,
it's been
yes, it
built.
has.
That pond has been dredged?
They had a big,
If they did, there better
Looked
be
like
a
a big
DEC
spider arm.
permit, because that's what DEC says. You can kind of maintenance the exterior, the, shoreline, I'll call it. But if you're doing anything in the pond itself, requires a permit. And I'm not aware of any permits for any ponds.
They probably had the permit,
Got
but
burned
they
in
did clean
the
it out with the big
Pardon?
arms,
It was in the flood.
reticulated thing. You're able to do it, you just need to do it.
Well, it's a great conversation. I will ask the engineers for their hydraulic conversation to say if it's 6 feet, it's 5 feet deep? Is it causing a flooding problem? I would sit here and say at the moment, the only flooding problem that you always appear to have is the bottleneck as you used to go under 94. But that stream at Vern Allen Park is designed to do exactly what it's doing. The water backs up. But, you know, you get 15, 20 inches of rain, you're in a flooding situation. There's just no doubt about it.
Well, it goes right over the top of that at Burn Allen Park when it gets flooded.
Yeah, well, we haven't had 15 inches since 2011, so it'll be interesting to
Been over the
see
top of that
when you
many
get,
times since
you
then.
get some real 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain and see what happens down there. We'll see. I'm still trying to get the state back to repair the damages that they're causing to the homeowners that are on East Main Street here in the 189 vicinity, because no one could figure out that water doesn't run uphill. What a surprise. So,
Over that way.
yeah, except it doesn't go uphill. And the water comes from Newcastle Drive, all the way down, gravity fed. And then when it
Raised
hits,
94 years ago.
and then when it
that's
hits the
started.
lip, it makes a left-hand turn, and now the people that live there are getting the water.
Well, if you remember correctly, when they raised 94 years ago, some of the people had their front yards raised also, so they don't get water. But the ones who didn't have them raised,
Who got raised? Water,
drive along there, you'll see the difference in them.
in
The state
properties.
raised the 94 in the 90s. About a foot.
Okay, I don't remember.
You don't have to.
I mean, they paved, obviously, they redid the intersection of 94 and 208, early 90s.
I'm talking about coming in from Bell's Gate all the way over. And you can see it, you can see what yards were raised and what ones weren't.
Okay, but they didn't, to my knowledge, nothing along the strip of 94 in the village was ever raised.
Where does the
The house
village
across
end?
the street has not been
Where does
raised.
the village end?
Right at Ahern, as you
They
go
raised
down.
it from Ahern,
What
over
direction?
east of Washington. I was living here at the time.
I don't,
Go back,
I
whatever.
don't know, yeah,
That's all irrelevant anyhow.
yeah,
But something needs to be done about the ponds.
yeah.
They're man-made ponds that Shell put in them to stop the acid rain, prevent acid rain. They need to clean them out. And there are maps at the county.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else?
Real
Vinnie?
quick, other than the possible pizzazz of litigation, has the village been served notice of any other litigation?
I'm sick.
Have they been served notice at all?
No,
No intent to, sue?
Nope.
And then just for your reference, you might wanna let the DPW know, sewer catch basin backing separated from the curb on Ahern and Decker. It's like pulled out into the street a little bit from the curb.
Sure.
The front loader might have pulled it.
okay. You know what they, maybe the, what do you call it, the snow thrower, the snow plow, they put on front of the Bobcat, because
Yeah,
they're,
it might have pulled it, it pulled it
might
with the
have
curb.
pulled it, because they've been doing a lot of the curb work.
Yeah, it's twisted
Okay.
now.
Thank you. Storm drain, right?
Yep.
Storm. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Bill?
When are the tax bills being sent out?
We received the file today, right?
Yeah, so
So-
probably get them printed and mailed the last week of February.
Take your time.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Thanks to the treasurer for hitting 2 numbers in the audience tonight.
That's her participation. She's a team player.
Oh,
You get the
Sorry to hear about
She's
your
a
dog.
team player.
Sorry to hear about your dog.
I'm sorry?
Sorry to hear about your dog.
Just heard
Oh,
you.
thank you, Ben, thank you.
The hawk?
Was it a hawk?
No,
They've
the
been flying
vet-
around.
I know, there were 3 vultures in the tree a couple of houses down from me. Because this morning I was sitting outside waiting to see,
A shotgun.
and, yeah. And, yeah, there were a couple of vultures, and then as they flew off, there was, 2, looked like hawks following it.
There's a couple of red-tailed hawks been flying around behind my house
Yeah.
nonstop.
But the vet feels that it was, the wounds were puncture wounds that probably came from some type of an animal, like a fox or who the hell knows. But I caught nothing on my cameras, and it was like instantaneous because she was in the house. I gave everybody a dog treat, they all ran in their directions. My daughter goes out to take the garbage out, and there she was.
Ah,
Horrible. But thank you, appreciate that. Anything else, folks? All right. Can I have a motion to actually go into executive session to discuss personnel matter?
Motion to adjourn.